be running out of time, and they might be a little bit empty, but we certainly aren't here at OCN, presented by none other than Samsung. We're 2 matches deep, we got 2 matches to go, and this next one is sure to produce the goods. It's Bliss taking on Order, a matchup that really could, I mean, it just has the potential, right, Dev? That's probably the best way of putting it.
That's it. Well, we have Bliss flawless so far in OCN. They have looked just so damn good, undefeated. Can anybody stop Bliss from finishing first place and getting seeded directly into that OCN Stage 2 playoffs grand final? I don't know if they can. Look, last time Bliss and Order played each other, we saw it in the historical match before today. It was a barn burner. Bliss came back and won it. And at the moment, in this form, it's tough to say that anyone can take these guys down. Shade, Oda, Todd, Repix, and of course the young gunner, Jigsaw. What can you do when you're facing such talented players in the server?
There's nothing you can really do, I guess. There's a lot of Bliss support in the chat, so make sure you show your love for this roster. They're showing us incredible signs right now. A team that is showing us signs, sometimes good, sometimes bad. It is Order. This team really just has the potential on any given day to beat some of the best in the world, but it feels like that day comes around once in a blue moon.
Yeah, that's it. Like, some strong wins so far in Stage 2, but they're not consistent yet, and they don't have that magic wild card that they had in the past with It Be Style, obviously him moving down to a coaching position, Nate coming up from being a sub, and Nico coming in from being a coach. Both of those players have had some shining moments. Nate in particular, a bit of a young gunner. He's been playing fantastically, but as a unit, these guys are still sorting some issues out.
God, that angle on Jack Daddy, it's doing things.
So
Look at it. That is,
what is that man?
Is a gorgeous position. And what, actually, that's a
like
microphone? What?
It looks like he's looking into a crystal ball or something.
What is that? I mean, this roster, honestly, Dev, just has all sorts of attitude. You know, between them and the Chiefs, I feel like we just have such a well-rounded group of, what's the right way of putting this? Interesting characters, that's for sure.
We certainly do, and hey, Bliss aren't afraid of getting lively as well on the cams, so yeah, I'm sure that we'll have a lot of banter between the two of these teams. Order, I know, are feeling invigorated. Despite having some struggles so far with their new roster, we are seeing them start to find their feet. Specker is a player that we love to chat to, but we do also like to roast him a little bit for his performances in the server. Last couple weeks, though, he's been red hot, so I'm expecting a lot of things out of Order. I didn't predict them for the snowball predictions, but I did for like some of my other predictions I do with some of my other mates, so I'm actually backing Order in. I want them to have the upset, I want them to have revenge from Stage 1, and I want them to give Bliss their first L, so that's what I'm going to be looking for.
You have other friends? Oh, prediction friends! Oh, my prediction friends! Alright, let's have a look at the veto as Dev decides to hop off your screen. We'll see where we're headed for this banger. It is Oregon, a classic here in Oceania. You couldn't help but come back to the broadcast.
Oh, it's the veto! I need to carry you through this veto, so I got all the stats, man. I got all the stats. So,
you do, honestly.
Let's have a look. Oregon. So, Bliss destroyed Rhythm 7-2 on this map just last week. And the last time we saw Order play it was back in LFO against LFO at the start of the stage. They won, but unfortunately did lose in APAC South to 7th Heaven. Now, I don't want to put too much weight onto Order's results on this map because they have changed a lot. They have really been working through those issues. So, for example, that loss to 7th Heaven, I wouldn't worry too much based on that. That said, for Bliss, this has been a strong map for quite some time, and in fact, it was the map that these two teams played the last time they faced off, which was Bliss making a comeback from being 6-5 down to an 8-6 win. You would have seen that if you were around before the stream for the historical match. So I think to say the table has been set and the stage is about ready to have some players.
I hope so. I hope that it's as quick as how you've gone through that veto process. Some great stats that you've thrown at me. I'm not going to lie, I kind of zoned out halfway through your stats, so I'm looking forward to seeing this one regardless of where it goes. I know we're going to Oregon. That's all I need to know, right? That's all we need to know. It's Bliss, it's Order, it's undefeated versus the defeated. Can Order deliver Bliss their first L of the season? That is the big question on everyone's mind. We'll find out in the next half an hour. Oh, God, I wish it was half an hour. Within the next hour and a half.
Well, I can't wait to see these guys getting lively as well, as no doubt they will. As we jump straight on in, now a question I do wonder to myself is, are we going to see the Flores and Thatcher banned out, or are we going to see them slip through? Order, straight out of the gate, has taken that Flores down and does leave Bliss with a position where they're probably wondering if they ban the Thatcher. I reckon it's just going to be a pretty simple lock-in for them. There you go. So you're going to see a lot of Maverick come through. And with Flores and Thatcher banned, I really hope we start to see some strong blue holds. I think blue attacks are going to be quite difficult onto that basement. Probably going to be really testing how strong these teams are at attacking the front side of the map.
Valkyrie, a very common ban. Now the question is it Kaid? Is it Mirror? You feel like Mirror is probably going to be more so the ban here, as there is no Maverick ban. Just like that, it is too. Now let's get into the action. Let's not hold reservations for any longer. Order starting on that defense, and hopefully off to a good one as well. Question being, where are we going to start? What site are they going to go for? Just a stock standard basement. I feel like between basement and kids / bunks, it kind of, it gets a pretty decent amount of that first round play, the first round action. I'd be very, very interested to see one of these teams just go for a, like a meeting hold or something like that straight off the bat. And there it is again. The Clash coming out as a 6th pick, Dev. I'm loving this Clash play so far in O's.
We've seen some great moments for it. We've seen some pretty scary moments for it. But yes, I am optimistic. I do love seeing the Clash. She's very powerful downstairs here as well in the basement, really choking up some of these choke points. But looking to the wider setup for Order, I really like the amount of projectile denial we do have. Funnily enough, there's a lack of a Jaeger here, but the Aruni and Wamai are both really strong at denying projectiles. For example, let's say it's a blue hold and a blue push. You've got your shield and elbow, you've got your Clash loitering around the brick store, maybe an electrical, and you're really going to be wanting to protect those two facets with the Aruni and the Wamai, and Bliss would have to chuck a lot of their util through to get that. That said, the lack of a Jaeger is a bit of a concern, and I do wonder how that will play in here to this defense. For Bliss, I'm wondering, first question straight off the gate, is it going to be a front push or is it going to be a blue push?
Time will tell, that's for sure.
Looks to be blue.
Oh, hang on. Is this going to be a blue? It looked like they kind of had a pretty good indication. You can see they're very tempted, but look at Order's response. You could see there from the third person. They've just sent it into blue. Todd's going to open up the bank account here. Jack Daddy needs to respond. It's an absolute flurry of kills, and Team Bliss are absolutely cheering. What a way to start. Bailey is the only player to give any kind of promise, and it's so quickly dismissed. Oh my God.
Welcome to OCN, my friends. This is the undefeated Bliss. They are storming through the competition, and in their opening round, they almost make it flawless. What a blue rush there from the boys in pink. Order didn't know what hit him.
Oh. You love to see it. You also hate to see it if you're an Order fan, but it will keep them on their toes for the rest of the day.
Why don't they go back there? That's what I don't get. It's like, if you lose to a cheesy rush, just go back and try again. I don't know. That's my opinion, but we'll see if Order can win on this side. Maybe it's just a bit of a tilter. They're like, let's not get in our heads about that past round and just move on back to dorms.
Yep.
I like the up setup. We got the frost in particular. Nice one. A lot of vertical holes plus that frost welcome mats underneath the main window. Got some Vulcan shields from the Goyo. Todak, where is that drone? Oh, that's outside. It's not a bad position for the drone. And yeah, Bliss just coming out of the gate strong, man. Like, what can you say?
5 seconds remaining.
I guess it's what we would expect from them, knowing what Bliss are like, knowing how much they can favor their explosive style, their unpredictable style at that, and the fact that they only dropped one player in a rush like that, even when Order were on that side of the map, even when they had the clash to slow things down, absolutely absurd. Bringing our attention into this round, Nico, I mean, by this stage, nearly every team will be making sure that this is a point that Nico cannot play around. You need to be extremely cautious because he is the kind of player that will just do some really cheeky things.
God.
And God, talk about cheeky. Bailey, ill-advised.
I appreciate the attempt there, but a little bit more than you can chew there for Bailey. That run out was just a little bit too far. So it was inevitable he was going to be refragged, even had he got that kill. Not worth it in the end, but hey, you miss every shot you don't take. Gotta give him credit for attempting.
Certainly a new brand of Siege that we're seeing in 2021. And it feels a lot more about the individual prowess from time to time. This is nice from Bliss. Look at how much control they've been able to take. Repix doesn't know this, but he's actually down Specker. In fact, there we go. It's been confirmed, and slowly but surely, Dev.
Oh my God.
What is going on?
They just don't stop, but that is a double! The C4 maybe makes this winnable now in the 2v5. It has become, well, a 1v3. Jack has got to ace up. He's made it a 1v2 now. Jigsaw low HP, Rob. This is very winnable! Todd's fallen into the frost mat. It's a 1-on-1, and Jigsaw low HP. Jack Daddy has an opportunity to make this a massive clutch.
Like he's about to as well. Both players on 20 to 30 HP. He knows exactly his positioning. Needs to be careful because Jack Daddy could find the timing. If he's not cautious, he may just push straight through here. It's exactly what Jack Daddy's... What? Jigsaw, no way! How?
What is that?
I'm done. What is this first 2 rounds?
What was that from Jigsaw? The fact that he wins that. I mean, for Jack to even get close to the 1v5 is unbelievable. Little bit of help from Nate's frost mat, which is lovely, but for Jack Daddy to be given the perfect opportunity and for Jigsaw to somehow win it, that is just unbelievable. Look at this. Bam! And even with Jigsaw low HP, Jack landed at 1 bullet and it wasn't enough. Jigsaw just melted him. Absolutely turned on.
I honestly had him dead to rights there. 100% dead to rights. Didn't think there was a chance in hell that he was going to be able to win that. As in Jigsaw I'm talking about. That flick is so gnarly. But what I'm really curious to see, I might go back in the VOD and have a very quick look, but where was all that information coming from for Team Bliss? There had to have been a drone on site. You think about the kill from Double Window, the confirmation that Specker had been downed. There was a lot of pieces that really came together there that allowed Team Bliss to be like that. Now, okay, it gets very, very close, but it feels like Team Bliss are getting really early intel, Dev. Really crucial, important intel.
Yeah, well, I can tell you that in the 1v1, neither Bliss nor Order had any info, any cams. They were all just spectating their players. But earlier in the round, I can't say, and I don't know where exactly the drones were. What really should be a 1-1 scoreline, despite Bliss's man advantage in both of those rounds, has left Order asking a lot of questions and with a lot of work to be done here, Rob. They go back to that basement defense, the laundry supply, and it looks like they have exactly the same lineup that they brought on the first round, but there is no rush this time.
Not for now. Much quieter start, what we're used to seeing. This is the ability of, taking the pressure to your opponent so early on in the piece. It allows you to almost sit back on your laurels, especially in round 3, just to kick back and relax for a second. Order are well and truly anchoring as hard as they can. Bit of pressure from Blue as well. So Team Bliss with a really nice spread.
Good amount of info, but Order are still retaining a lot here, especially with the clash from Nico. When we do start to see the air jab deployed, it does restrict Nico's movement. Nico is actually going to impact trick that. You can hear the hissing of the air jab has subsided, so now Nico does have a little bit more mobility once again. Bliss are completely falling back. They're going to go for a front push here. They've already got a player down. Is that Repix himself, or is that a Yana clone? That is actually Repix. Already all the way down in Freezer. A curious setup from Order does give Bliss so much control.
Okay, Jack Daddy's gone down. He's not out for the count yet, though. However, it does look like as Jigsaw trying to confirm the kill, he'll get away as well, as Nico is now caught on the stairs. 40 seconds left. It looks like not only do Team Bliss have the control of Laundry, Freezer, and rear stairs, they're just pincing the site. What can Bailey get done outside of the one kill? Surely not much more. What a flick. Oh, Order have just turned this, Dev, and it's all Repix and Jigsaw, 2 gnarly players left.
They got a funnel on through a very narrow angle. Nate's good for that shot. Puts Jigsaw back in his place. Repix, last one standing, and against the clash and a crossfire, you're just not going to win that. Order does bring it back. Despite losing the opening engagement, they make it work.
That was getting very hairy for Order. You think about the pressure that Team Bliss were applying there. They had all freezer control. They had all laundry control. They had rear stage stairs. My goodness, I can't talk right now. And sure, it was Nico on the clash who could hold the stairs, so there wasn't really too much that could be done toward pillar and into electric there. But most certainly, Team Bliss were ticking all of the check marks that we would usually be talking about. And from there, Order just hitting some gnarly shots, winning their ones. I think that you can really attest a lot of that to Bailey. If Bailey doesn't come up big there in Laundry, I just don't know if that's possible.
Definitely. I will say, despite individual strong performances from Order, I want to break a little bit down that strat that they had. Like the fact that they fully reinforced off Freezer, whereas at pro play, most teams will have a line of sight in the right-hand side wall so that you can actually contest Freezer. But that line of sight works both ways. Order's philosophy is, hey, we've got a clash. When they do actually get into Freezer and push all the way up to that single door that leads into the hallway, like, it doesn't matter because we're not exposing ourselves to that angle. We even have a deployable shield facing that doorway. That map control they can have. And it's just going to be another choke point that they're baited into. And look, Rob, that's exactly what happened. So, bit of credit then to Order's strat book. They're always a team that comes up with things a little bit outside the box, a little bit creative. And I really liked that. Another example of something a little bit outside the box, is that a rotating closet? I didn't quite catch it. I think I saw a closet rotate into master bedroom. It's like they made the rotate and then reinforced over it, so that's a bit weird. Oh well.
Yeah, that's... Oh, hello again! Bailey is just an animal. Killed down by pillars. I'm sure Shade was probably trying to get in their face and make things awkward. There's the man count gone in the favor of Order within the first 30 seconds of the round.
Very, very good start here for Order, especially considering they got shut down very, very convincingly in those first 2 rounds. Nico's got this really great position downstairs. He's made himself a rotate. What can he do with this? He has a C4 and the shotty. It's a lot to work with. The spec is also down here, tempting fate. And Nico feels like he might be getting hunted at the moment. Bliss have some strong positions, but there's a lot of X factors here for Order.
And we've seen how You can have all the positioning in the world. You can be in the best possible case scenario. That's really clean. Actually kind of important as well when you think about the fact that now they don't have the gate open. That's a really smart play from Order holding that line. I don't know who that was. I think it was Nate. Yeah, Nate just sitting behind the deployable shield pit. And now they're going to have to use something a little bit different to get through that. But Order is still with really great positioning. Feels quite comfortable from them on site.
Bailey, once again, he's been so hot. He's peeking it again, and he takes down Todd. What is it with OS players and that damn Roni? It does so much work. And though Jigsaw does shut him out, Nate's got a really nice angle with the gas canister that shuts Jigsaw out of that angle.
Yeah, I see you. That's going to be for 30 seconds as well, as I believe he still has... No, it's actually only for at least another 10. Jack Daddy gets caught in Z. This is starting to fall to pieces. Jigsaw needs to be careful turning the corner. Nico, you sweaty little rat. Proned on the staircase, and now Repix. We've seen some insane things from him before, but he has to go almost nuclear here, Dev. Oh my god. Oh. He nearly had me believing there for a second. Oh,
look at the
no.
That's so Nico, man.
Nico.
It's the thing with this game, right? Like, these two teams, every damn one of these players has the capacity to just do something absolutely nutty.
Yep.
You look at a player like Repix and you're like, oh, he's in a 1v3, he's probably dead. And then he can still pull off some really clean shots.
Yep.
Same goes for just about anyone in the server at the minute. The fact that Order have now, after getting slapped in the face with what was a rush nearly flawless round and then another nearly flawless round that Jack Daddy almost clutched, they've just come back 2 in a row looking to make it a triple as they head to their off-site meeting and kitchen.
Ooh. What's their setup going to look like? How's it going to pan out? Curious to see, you know, we were so used to seeing those dining defenses. I feel like maybe last stage, or either there or the end of 2020, we were seeing a lot of that extension into showers, mainly for that dining defense. We're seeing a lot of the extension into showers, holding that long line, falling back once the mini game, if to say, was finished. Whereas for meeting, you know, you do see a lot of contention upstairs in and around attic. Of course, that meeting hatch can really be to your demise, regardless of whether you're an attacker or a defender. It actually holds a lot of weight to it. Really curious to see how Order approaches.
Yeah, and of course it's Bliss that's going to have to deal with the setup. They look to be taking tower first up. No contestation from Order. They're just going to give this map control for free. Jigsaw's getting in the building nice and quick. Is that a softball? Looks like it. On the attic. Oh, what an angle. Jigsaw is going to be able to utilize that. Shade's actually gotten himself into pillar downstairs really early on. This is what he tried to do last round when he was peaked early. Information gathering by Bliss so far. They're going to start the Shade. Okay.
Oh,
what?
What?
How do you win that, man? He drops down the hatch, gets air jabbed, sent through the wall, and takes down Shade anyway.
Just Bailey Tings, I guess. He is having an unreal game so far. Really, I believe actually the last 3 rounds in a row, he's been the opening kill. And if not the opening kill, at least the trade for Order, he has been unbelievable. They do have that attic control. They've still got to flush out the back players toward dorms. It feels like Jigsaw may start to poke and prod sooner rather than later.
Numbers evened. Repix, he's in sight. Where did he come from? Must have just walked through lobby into split and shut down Order right in the back. Now, 2 players from Order are looking to make this retake work. And Repix shuts down one of them. I don't know how he didn't get the second, but Jack, once again in a position where he's got a clutch. Oda is holding down the line. And Bliss, it was a bit close there, but they do get it across. A great opening found by Repix.
Yeah. What's that, a 3K in the round for him?
Yep.
Just Repix things. I mean, I feel like we're saying that a lot this season. You know, Repix things, Oda things, Jigsaw. It's just like you prefaced in the round before. You just don't know who it's going to be on any given day or on any given round. Any of those players can step up. We're seeing Shade have huge impacts. Todd, it just Team Bliss is stacked with talent that are really starting to push the boundaries on what we're coming to expect from this roster. And at the end of the day, they are most likely going to finish first. If they win this map right now, they will be, I believe that is 4 points clear, if I am not mistaken, from Chiefs who are below them. So they will pretty much be in the best place possible heading into the last two play days.
That's it. Bliss are in such a strong position to guarantee themselves a grand final spot. It's looking very, very likely they'll take it. At the moment, with Chiefs sitting on, what, Chiefs would be on 11 at the moment? Yeah, so yeah. I mean, I don't think Wikipedia is updated from what I'm looking at right now. But yeah, Chiefs should be on 11. Bliss currently on 12. The flawless record, like you said, they get the 3 from here. They're up to 15. And like in stage 1, for reference, no team even had 15 points. Like the top team was Knights on 14. Yep. That's how crazy Bliss have been.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, when you look back at their season, or their stage, sorry, 7-5 win against Knights. You know, they took down Wildcard in their first outing. It's just kind of been a little bit outrageous how good they've been and how consistent they've been on every given play day in OCN. Now, I guess there is a very small disclaimer. I might not have a chance to talk about this disclaimer, but the fact that, of course, the top 4 OCE teams that we would naturally talk about are playing APAC South as well. So they have another game, if not 2 sometimes, to prepare for. But isolating more so to this round, Nico opening up once more, and it's Shade that goes down. Unfortunately, no more impact for the Nomad.
I mean, 3rd round in a row, he's been taken out early. Repic's taken very, very low. It's just a bloodbath. I don't know where all these players are, but the fact that the Aruni Bailey opened up all these lines of sight on the middle floor just means that everyone is always in danger. And, well, it has hurt both teams, but it's hurt Bliss more so. Not only or to have the man advantage, but also the health advantage. You look at the fact that Repix is so low, it means that Nico can zap him to death really, really easily. He's actually going to try and make a play for it as well. Repix knows he has to get out. If he gets slowed by the clash here, he might just get taken down.
Now that's kind of massively crucial at the moment. I believe there's only 2 drones that are out in the field, both of which are held by Todd and Oda. And outside of that, they're not going to have any more intel. There's still a minute left. Make that only 1 drone left, Dev, to use any kind of information. So they're going to be going into this completely blind. Nico can hold back the entirety of Freezer. I can rotate as pleases. Little bit concerning now with 40 seconds left here for Team Bliss. They've got to go large, and Oda going down does not make it convincing. Bye-bye. See you later, alligator. Oh, he's salty.
Repix, I choose you.
God damn, Nico.
He is a bit of a memer, isn't he?
He is, but Todd has no chance in this round. Order, shut it out. And that's the half.
Grab your NVMe SSD. Thank you for the massive sponsorship there. But, of course, getting back into the game. 3-3 at the half. Not too shabby here for Order, is it, Rob? After getting essentially flawless on their opening round with a rush, almost flawless on their second round, they actually bring themselves back into this game.
They do. They do. They put themselves in prime position. Now, the issue is going to be around, defender-sided versus attacking-sided and where that kind of sits, especially for this matchup. Who is more favored? You feel like Team Bliss coming into the second half, provided they have a half-decent start, should be in good stead. Now, this is an interesting setup. Of course, this is the meeting hold that we used to see back in the day. We would Rio off both split and the double door next to stage. And now it kind of allows them to play a little bit more aggressive and can stick that roam for longer. And I guess you kind of have to, Dev. You can't really afford to give up meeting easily at the very least.
Yep, that's absolutely true. But yeah, opening round and Bliss will be relying on this hold. Like it's like you say, it's not a matter of like they can give this up. Like they are really relying on this hold. And as a result, oh wait, is this just a rush from Pillar? Look at them go. And as long as they're holding the right angles here, they should be in a really strong position. Now Oda's holding the perfect line, but he loses it. They've got to be really careful about the hatch though, and I think Nate just forgot about that one. And that nade does actually destroy that C4. Bliss are starting to recompose. Repix cleaned up with that flank. And now it's very difficult for Order to get back in this.
Nate forgot about the hatch, and Order can forget about the round because this is out of control. A really nice hold from Bliss. I'm not sure what the call was exactly, but it definitely didn't feel like it was the one. Certainly not the Neo for the Matrix, and I guess Repix, oh my god. Okay, that wasn't Repix, that was Jigsaw. Don't know where that was from, but regardless, it's Bailey in a 1 versus 4. I guess he's got his wits and his will, and that might just be all he needs because he is on fire right now.
Bailey's 10-4 at the moment, more kills than anyone else in the game. So if there's anyone to clutch up, here's who I put my money on. First kill's going to have to be onto Repix. Low HP on the stairs, but Repix does win it. And sends Order packing. That is another strong round for Bliss, once again retaking the lead.
I do really like that extended meeting hold. It's not something that we see super common in OCN. Anyway, I'm not going to speak about other regions, but specifically in Oceanic Nationals, we don't see it a hell of a lot. We used to see it from Wildcard, I believe, in either the end of 2020 or the start of Stage 1 2021. But regardless, it's kind of not so common. And it works an absolute treat there. I don't know whether Order just didn't have the full read on that, because it really felt like Nate was overly exposed in Electric there, and they were in no position to trade that out. So,
I mean,
certainly a great round nonetheless.
I'm pretty sure that like 100% Order knew that was a heavy meeting hold. Like the stage walls are reinforced to T1, to tower, from meeting. And like that was why they decided to go for the rush down Pillar, which was a great read. But yeah, Nate just had a no-brain moment. Like it happens to the best of us. Like sometimes you're just like, oh, of course I can't play an electrical because the hatch is open and there's a guy above it. It's just like his brain transported out of his head, was off gallivanting around, and it's just such a shame because I think if Order had continued to, like, let's say if they funneled the hallway on the back of that pick, they probably could have made that work. Like a bit of util really dedicating, they probably could have just ripped sight out from under Bliss. But unfortunately, sometimes just a little mistake like that does end up having pretty dire consequences.
Now onto the Dorms defense here for Bliss. They do have a bit of vertical pressure on that first floor as well as we'll start to approach bedroom. Yeah, so they'll be trying to get games open, get that attic open as soon as possible. Just make sure that they've got all their options so that when push comes to shove, can make that choice freely as they do so choose. And just like that, the Selma Chargers start.
Oda's going to impact trick these Selmas. He's going to let the first one explode. And then as the second package tries to detonate, he'll impact trick that one. Now we still do have a couple of Selmas left from Jack. I can't see right now because he's on his drone exactly how many. But once he gets off, we'll see. I expect it's 2 left. And that means that there's only one more impact on Oda. So it should just mean that Jack can make a full breach here. He does a second one. and actually gets the kill onto Oda. Really well played there from Jack. He actually used the Selma to bait out that kill, and as a result, Oda can no longer use his Evil Eyes.
Will only be passed on for information to make matters worse. Oh,
my
shade.
God.
That was a really gnarly peek with the shotgun. Sends Jack Daddy back to the grave and Repix!
Oh, no! Well played from Specker, and that was also well played from Bliss. I don't know which player it was who shot down that window, but well played to, I guess, not give Specker the information. Todd goes all the way to Small Tower for the run out to finish off what was left of Specker, but that tells Order there's only one guy on site, so they can start to push in. That said, Todd has come back in through the double window and found the first pick here in the 1-on-3. He might be able to do this.
Might just do so. Nico needs to be careful. Todd's position now fully known. Just kind of ticking away. They're now pushing from Kids. If he hits that, he might have space to move. But Nico shuts him down. And that is a much needed round for Order. And a bit of confusion for Bliss. I love it though. It's all smoke and mist. You don't know where they're coming from.
Yeah, this is promising to be quite a tight game, Rob, here, with Order really keeping pace. I think those first 2 rounds lured us into a false sense of security for Bliss. I can't speak on their behalf. I don't know whether they got ahead of themselves, but I think we did a little bit. I mean, I was a bit embarrassed. I was like, oh no, I was saying Order was going to be the team to upset Bliss here and give them their first L, but maybe I'm looking a bit silly now. I don't know. I think this is a game that we're likely to see overtime on, likely to see the full 15 rounds. Yeah, it's going to be very tight. And, I mean, as a result, I think every round counts even more. And especially in a situation where, like, Bliss just lost their dorms. Dorms is a pretty staple site here. Most teams would repeat. And instead, they've gone to dining. We already touched on this a little bit. Not a very common pick these days whatsoever.
No. Kind of feels like it's just faded behind the use that it once had. Now, what we used to see was a lot of, like a very, very heavy showers control. Not all the time, but it was generally where you put a lot of the pressure. Yeah, it was. You would just extend into showers, hold it with the ADSs, sit there with deployable shields. You had to rotate back out. But this time, they've double reinforced that wall. I mean, maybe for my memory, it's shocking, but from what I used to remember, the left wall of showers was always left soft to test.
Yeah, and used to impact trick any hard breach. Yeah, I think like we're seeing like more modern takes on these bomb sites, and I think that this just ended up becoming quite a weak bomb site once people really practiced attacking it. Yeah. And so I like that Bliss are changing things up a little bit. But Order is, instead of going for a small tower take, they're actually really just putting their focus on this top floor. They do have some presence on small tower, but they're really just focusing for now on taking the east side of the map. I think that's a good choice here. Really just start to rip the rug out from underneath your opponent. But I'm really worried about these flanks because we know that that's something that Bliss quite thrive on. And I can already see that there is a guy downstairs who has an opportunity to flank up the lobby stairs or perhaps the rear stairs. And Todd could be very dangerous.
Could be. We really won't know the impact until the later in the round. So keep your eyes. You don't have to necessarily, you know, hone in. But if you, Specker, do not approach. Just keep your eyes on the kill feed, because if we see Todd pop off, we know exactly where that's come from. It's a flank 100% of the time. Now, elsewhere, it doesn't look like Order have really been able to put the pressure directly onto Repix yet, but they're certainly getting their works done in meeting.
Yeah, I like this from Order. They're actually breached already onto the site from meeting, and it does really start putting pressure on players like Jigsaw and Shade, who are here in server just around the corner. They could deny the plant, especially if they make a breach. Repix is also upstairs, but he doesn't have many vertical holes to deny a kitchen plant. And there's that flank player taken out early. Now Jigsaw's C4 here might spell death for Jack Daddy. And that is a big opening pick for the side of Bliss. Nico now left reeling. The diffuser is cold on the ground in sight. But Order are not done yet. Oda on for the flank here, but shut off by that grenade, left uncooked. Order have a strong position now, but it could swing.
Certainly could. Now with Repix going down, he was that top floor pressure. That's all gone. So is Shade. He has been able to drop down. Love that from Jigsaw. The timing's perfect. But now he's left in a 1 versus 2 order. They know his positioning. Well, surely you would imagine watching both angles. Oh my god, Nate swinging wide at kitchen door. Isolates the 1v1, but secures the kill at that. And again, Order showing us really good signs here on Oregon.
Bit close for comfort there. Nice to see the Order boys a bit lively after that one. But yeah, pretty great here from Order, considering they've won 2 out of their 3 attacks so far, retaken the lead. This is actually the first time all game Order have been a round ahead. They set themselves up really, really well. Bliss can go back to Laundry, but I think this map may well hinge on Bliss's Dorms defenses because Order have looked pretty convincing on both Dorms and Kitchen attacks. Bliss can play this Laundry one more time, even if they win it. That'll tie up the score line and lock them out of this bomb site for a further 2 rounds. So they have to dig deep on one of their other bomb sites. If they can't do that, Rob, this is going to be an Order win without OT.
Yep. Crazy to think that that's even on the cards here, but honestly, I'm almost at the point where I'm convinced Order are just looking so good in their attacks. Here we go again. Meeting hold for Team Bliss. Now, how much they decide to stick to the exact same strat, it looks like for all intents and purposes, it is. What kind of adaptations are Order going to make here? I hate this from Todd. I really hate this from Todd.
It's so dirty, man.
Really
there was a
like
classic spawn peek people used to do. They used to go prone underneath the American flag in split and like look for the feet underneath the exterior lobby door. And they would like aim for the wall bang and they would just like see the feet and then pull the trigger. It was disgusting. That one was coined by Hysterics from Invictus. And, that worked far too many times. Ooh, here's Jigsaw going for a run out. He lights up Nico a lot, but doesn't actually secure the kill. I think that this is really Order feeling the pressure of that roam. It's far, it's wide. But if Bliss stretch their resources too thin, Order might be able to take advantage of it.
This now showing the attention. Repix, he can't find a second. But how quick is that from Todd to respond? Now Todd is just pushing right into Nate's open arms. Just a little bit so. I mean, realistically, Todd could have just found that kill and backed away. I guess he's looking for more aggression, trying to put the pressure back on Order. But if anything, he has now given them the door slightly ajar to push open.
Shade's the only one holding top at the moment. If they push him together, they'd be in a really strong position to win all of this map control. And if they could take meeting, so he's actually going to back off. He's going to give them meeting for free and also take down that castle barricade. No. Bailey's going to catch him though. Oh, what? How many times have we seen gunfights go the wrong way this game? Shade is so lucky to have won that one. But still, Order has some good map control now after that forfeit of meeting.
I like this from Shade. He's kind of cutting his losses here. You know, he knows that there's no way out for him. And if he decides to destroy that barricade to his right that kind of leads him down the corridor, it'll leave an open door for Order to collapse on. Nate getting work done. Shade, can he put a nail in the coffin? Better yet, he'll hammer it in. And that is an unbelievable round from him.
Wow, Order was so close. All they had to do was shut down Shade. They had a 3v1 onto him in meeting. But Shade really, really stepped up massively. He made the call to leave meeting, tore down the castle barricade. Bailey had his number. He was literally holding that angle, and he started shooting first. But Shade lands that first headshot. Even now, with Order having full control of meeting, they still couldn't get it. In a 3 versus 3, Shade was hungry, he was greedy, and he found every single kill.
A hungry boy. That is a scary prospect. When Shade starts chiming in, and it's not just Jigsaw and Repix with the ridiculously large plays. you really start to get worried. But equally so for Order, every single player of them, like realistically, I don't think we're seeing a quiet game from anyone.
No.
Ev, this is, and I feel like sometimes we do often see, you know, a top-heavy game where one player in particular is really dragging out the performance of the team. But from both rosters here,
Seconds to go.
this is a really good game.
If there was any player I was going to say was a bit quiet up until that last round was Shade, probably. Like, you know, he had 3 opening deaths on his attacking side, but I think he redeemed himself just then.
Yeah.
Jack Daddy also started pretty strong, but has, I guess, struggled a little bit. That said, you know, he's fulfilling his role for the most part, so I don't really want to rag on him at all. That said, you know, Bliss only just won that round, right? That probably should have been an Order round. Like, Shade should have died rotating back, then Order would have had tons of map control and a 3v2 to execute with over a minute left. That should be an Order round. Thankfully for Bliss, it wasn't, and I think they're going to be hinging on whether Order are a bit rattled by that. Because Order realistically should still win the game from here. They've already won their Dorms attack once, and they've already won their Kitchen attack once. So I don't think that Bliss has a lot to lean on here.
Would definitely hard agree with you on that aspect. Now, Jigsaw is that player roaming underneath. Oh, that's perfect. That could not have been any better timing. Literally threw it as Bailey was rotating up the stairs, and the second Bailey hits dry land, it's nothing but net. And now, Order have to fight with that man down, and that man has been incredibly impactful.
Yeah, that said, Bailey has really struggled in the most recent couple rounds. I think Order has suffered for it. Also, not punishing Jigsaw on that roam is certainly going to make things difficult for Order. I like the Claymore, though, from Jack. But he's dancing with death, exposing himself to a line of sight like that. Bliss have a really strong position. They've still got a player down in C, that is Repix. They've got stacks on site of players and util. And Order don't have all kinds of map control. That said, in just a moment, we might see Order take Attic, which would be incredibly potent.
Oh, Shade! What timing is that? No
That is
way.
so lucky. Like, I think, did Nico have his pistol out at the time? Like,
I believe so. I believe he was just rotating through meeting.
if he didn't have his pistol out, that 100% would have been a kill for him. Like, very unlucky there for Nico. But hey, a kill is a kill here for Bliss, and they put themselves into such a good spot.
Oh,
what is that? And Bliss are just adding insult to injury. I said that Order had everything they needed to take this, but Bliss might just find a flawless round to take match point.
Look at the ducking and weaving from Repix there. Quick little crouch into standing. You love it. And now Bliss are once again on map point. For reference, for everyone at home right now, Team Bliss have not gone to overtime once. Not a single time in 4 games. Just for reference, they have already played Knights and Wildcard. They've also played, you know, Alofo and Rhythm, but I wouldn't put them on the same character as I would Knights and Wildcard. However, if they do this with Order as well, I'm convinced to just pack it up. We've found our first place for Stage 2. We've found them.
Well, there's a chance for Order to break the record. Even just a round win here would break the record of no OT for Bliss, and there's still a chance Order could reverse sweep into OT. Now, they took a tactical timeout, Order did, and then actually called it back. They said, actually, no, we don't want our tactical timeout. And I think that's probably a good idea, honestly. Like, Bliss are going back to Kitchen, which is a bomb site that they lost the last time. Order doesn't want to give Bliss extra time to talk about what went wrong that round and fix those problems.
Shade, what do you got up your sleeve? What are you looking to do?
Not every day you see an Oryx, eh? It was a 6-pick as well, I believe, off of the Frost. So not only does that mean Order's a little bit worried about these Frost mats, but they certainly won't be expecting the Oryx. A couple of things you can do with it. I think the main one I'm thinking of is the fact that you can jump up and down the hatch in server that goes down into freezer. Like it's really, really powerful. You can like be roaming downstairs, and even if they're cutting off your like top of the stairs, then you can just come back up the hatch. Also, that was a nice electric claw all the way downstairs in freezer. Very unlikely that one will get spotted unless they've ordered to do some really thorough drone work.
I was so confused. I think Shade was trying to spawn peek, then literally just prone and split. So
oh, he did it.
it's yeah,
Cheeky.
did him dirty. Now, I guess you know the droning phase here for Order is going to be quite crucial, trying to spot out that. Or I don't think they're going to be able to find the Oryx, but at the very least, they're going to get the intel on that vertical pressure that they're going to try to apply here. And it looks like they're just going to use that nade to create a line of sight and a rotate in.
That is really cool from Nico. I very rarely see full rotates. That's very hard to get right with the nade. Like you have to have it perfectly on. So credit to Nico. He doesn't need a sledge.
Oh, Bailey. He's hit some outrageous shots, and that is the Oryx going down as well. That could have been the impact player.
Oh!
How's the timing from Nico on the swing to White Stairs? This is going to overtime, surely. This is going to overtime.
Repix is down, not safe yet. If Jack peeks this, he might be able to finish him off. We need some vertical play, but Bailey's been shut down here from Jigsaw. Oda's also going to get this res off, so close to a numbers equality here between these two teams. Jack Daddy very exposed! Jigsaw just swings it! And now Order are on the back foot.
Take it back, I take it back, I take it back, I take it back, please. This is ridiculous. How has Jigsaw been able to find those two? And now Nico's in a really awkward position. You know, 30, 40 HP.
Oh my God.
What is this from Jigsaw? A third kill. They've nearly taken down Nico. Nico is literally on about 2 HP. Oda's holding the kitchen. There is no chance at all. This is absolutely outrageous. From a 3v5, Team Bliss are making this work. Nico gets taken down. A quadra for Jigsaw. But Becca shuts him down.
Oh my God!
That's it. We're going to overtime.
And the music comes in. Debated production. Production just got so debated, bro.
We love you, Fred.
I love you guys, but that was so funny. I was like, we could have had the clockwork music start up for overtime anyway. Like that's how epic this is, right?
That's just ridiculous. That is outrageous from Specker. Team Bliss have been forced to overtime. This now may well be the first L that Team Bliss cop all season long. All stage long, I should say.
Well, it's already a broken record for Bliss. They are no longer flawless. They can no longer take 3 points from this game. This is already a blemish on their perfect record. They can still salvage it, though. Last time Bliss and Order played each other, it was OCN Stage 1. You saw it as the historical matchup at the start of the stream. Order was up 6-5. Bliss pushed to overtime and then won 2 straight rounds to take the map. At the time, it was a big upset over Order, and it looks like Order may have turned the table.
10 seconds to insertion.
Heart's pumping, I'll tell you that much. I mean, the fact that they even brought that back, Dev, you know, that Team Bliss were even close to making that work. Man. And then Specker gets 2 of his 6 kills in 1 round and has possibly the most impact we've seen. Oh, goodness me.
Yeah, no, credit to him. Well, as Bliss go back to Laundry Supply, we've seen this twice already. The first time we had a really nice rush attempt from Order, but they just didn't account for the meeting control. The second time, Order really should have won this round, but then Shade had a big 3K as he fell back from meeting. Already, Specker has taken down Jigsaw, the only player to find a kill for Bliss in the round just past. He's been taken down from the man who clutched it.
I mean, Spec is that kind of person, right? He's just going to run with it, but Oda does get the quick shutdown. And back into it, Repix just taking that early engagement with Bailey, toe-to-toe. Will back away and concede control of Showers. Now with a minute 40, there's plenty of time for Order to get to work here.
Look at those two back-to-back on the other side of the soft wall. Nate's in a good spot here. Bot main stairs. Ooh, Shade actually did a bit of damage. Not sure he realizes it. That C4's not going to land. Way too far. Got a bit close to actually destroying or deactivating the Aruni gate, but I think it was already deactivated there. Oh my god! What is that recoil, bro?
Oh, that's
That is
hilarious.
some of the funniest shit I've seen in a while.
We are getting... I'll tell you what, if anything, we are getting pure entertainment tonight. Oh, Repix.
Absolutely. Tonight has just been chockers full of amazing games. Oda, oh, so close. What are Order going to do on the back of this? Nate's sending it straight back down main stairs. Him and Nico together. Jack to hold flank. Bailey's actually tempted to go blue, and Order can't make up their mind.
It feels like this might just be the death of them here, trying to figure out what they want. They don't check Todd. Harry Potter, hello, it's Todd again.
Oh my god!
He's gonna surely close that out. Nate finds something. Shade responds, what is this game?
Match point for the second time for Team Bliss to at least salvage the game and retain the title of undefeated in OCN. You can see they are not quite happy. That's a sigh of relief from Todd and a bit of a lecture from Shade. They really need to pull their heads in here to retain that perfect record.
On the attack here. It's basement once more for Order.
And the only time Bliss won an attack onto this bomb site was the very first round of the map when they rushed it. Surely that won't work again.
Don't say surely.
Surely that won't work again.
You can't call me Shirley, mate. I'm telling you.
Defenders, protect your
We'll wait and see.
used by attackers.
Because this, I'm convinced this is round 15. This has to be concluded on
gotta
round
be.
15. There's no way Team Bliss can make this work.
Just what a cooked night of games.
Oh,
we've had.
man. I
What
don't
an
even know.
Absolutely cooked night of games. I am loving it, I've got to say. I am having the time of my life watching these teams fight tooth and nail for it. And look, Bliss have certainly put on a stellar performance. Just look at the fact they got 3 players all copping double digits. And it's not just like, they're not just barely on, but 12, 12, and 15. It's kind of quite a stark contrast. Like, these teams are only one round apart, but you look at the Order side, you got a lot more kind of even across the board. No one really far out. And overall, I mean, just trying to do some quick maths in my head, it looks like Bliss have far more kills overall than Order do.
Yeah, I'm not doing the quick math, I'll tell you right now. I'll bring up a calculator when I stop talking just to confirm, but I would agree with you in that. They've probably got around at least 5 kills more, I would say, from the way that I'm looking at it. So now, Nico, just a cheeky little peek from lobby. There we go. We see the clash, regardless of whether we saw it in the prep phase or not. They'll well and truly know. Repix will just make him a little bit antsy. Just quickly slashing into the window. Raj. But Order are pretty patient.
And this is the same setup Order did on their their third defense rather, of this bomb site. Oh, that's the opener. Nico gets really aggressive through Garage. Credit to him, he knows exactly when to switch to the SMG.
This is one thing that I praise Nico for, and I will continue to praise Nico for. He's got incredible judgment on when he should and shouldn't take fights as the clash. Multiple times a round can come down to him, instead of just having that shield up in front of his face the entire time, he will actually force the issue, force a fight, and win it. There's very, very little amount of times that I actually see him ending up dead in, the first minute, 2 minutes of the round. So I very much have to credit him for his play style. Now, it does mean that Team Bliss are going to be in a little bit more of a tricky situation here. With Repix going down, a very heavy fragger for the team. And Nico can hold Laundry stairs. So this is just a... Yeah, I'm not favoring Bliss right now. This is looking pretty good for Order.
And once again, Order's got that really nice full Rio plus the electrical setup in Freezer, plus the Clash. It just means that Bliss have to funnel themselves all the way down. If they want to get any value out of this map control, they have to go all the way to the door where Spec is standing right now. And with the Clash, that's going to be really, really difficult. They're going to try and concuss the Clash. Nico holds firm.
God, I've seen this end horrifically multiple times.
Don't make me even think about the team kill, dude. Don't even make me think about it.
You know that's what I'm thinking of. But now it's 35 seconds. Match point for Bliss. They confirm this and they keep their undefeated streak. They lose it. And we are sent to around 15. The timing, that is huge. Clash goes down, Dev. And now Team Bliss might just have the opening that they need.
But Nate has gassed off the entrance. Jigsaw could turn the table if he wins this fight. He takes down Jack Dad. It's match point and Bliss could end it right here as they storm in. Jigsaw's got 2 in his sights and he can get the first, but Order whittle down the time. We're going all the way, Rob. 15 rounds to settle it between Bliss and Order.
I am certain that Shade found the second last kill, and whoever that was hiding in that is massive. Literally being pressed from both sides and held out for a second, and that is all that's needed. Team Bliss, their backs are up against the wall. They have not been in this position in stage 2, and now we call upon them. We call upon their character. They do head to the defense where both teams have looked pretty comfortable. We go to Kids and Bunks.
Attackers need to locate and defuse
It just could not be tighter, Rob. Like, that came down to a really late position where Order probably still had the advantage. Bliss just blitzed through the site. Jigsaw had such an impact, but he was about 0.3 seconds off of killing Specker. And like you said, right, Specker was actually the last one left because Shade got the other kill. So Specker is really just thanking his lucky stars that he dodged those bullets. And if there was another half second, that round would be Bliss's and we would be watching them at their celebrations right now. We would be at the interview. This game would be over. But Order have a lifeline. They have to attack dorms, which they've already done successfully once before. They have a real shot here, Rob. Once again.
Once again. Just to make sure. Let's see how this one goes, because I'm not calling it at all. I'm not even going to make a comment on this. All I'm going to say, Order taking nice early control of dining and showers here. They will be met by a couple of players towards security, so Nate just needs to be cautious. At the very least, there's a double reinforced wall here.
Good map control for Order. Down underneath the bomb site. Maybe some vertical nades are on the cards. Attempted now. Second one to come through. Shade's taking a lot of damage here. There's no one playing deep in Kids' dorms, and so no one punished there. Todd's fully reinforced in security right now, and Bliss are completely vacating the Kids' dorms.
What?
But on his rotate out, Nico finds the opener.
Where did that nade come from? Did he nade from dining through the vert hole into the back of Kids?
Must be.
Oh my God, this guy just does not stop finding ways to destroy people's hopes. Becca coming on the underside. Oh my God. We've been in this position before. Two of the big gunners for Team Bliss still up. Todd steps up at a massive point of need. He pulls off the angle just at the wrong time.
Oh my God!
Nico's gone down as well. Dev, what is this match?
Order just cannot contain the aggression. Bliss are playing this so well. They've feathered this back. They've taken it. from the disadvantage to an advantageous position. Now Specker looking to push through Trophy. They don't have a lot of info. And Webpix is making a massive rotation. Specker, though, finds Jigsaw. This is so good now for Order. I don't think they have a breach, though. Bailey is really exposed. Both Webpix and Todd are off site. Do they have info on the flank? I don't think Specker has a clue. Webpix would have heard the door go down, and he can find Specker on the back of it. There's 40 seconds left, but I don't think these players have much time left on the hourglass as Bailey vaults on in. It's a 2v1.
Jack Daddy, he has to make this work. He's got to come up big for Order here. Otherwise, Team Bliss remain undefeated. Look at the crossfire as well. Jack Daddy gets caught. Todd takes him down, and Team Bliss once more, they defeat a titan of Oceanic Siege, and they still remain undefeated.
You can see how pumped they are for that one. What a 3 versus 5. They really know how to put on a show, don't they? The only undefeated team in OCN. They might not have a flawless record in terms of points now, but man, they are undoubtedly the #1 here in OCN.
Just look at it. Soak it in. Once more, we see the logo on our screens with the big old letters victory next to it. Oh, gotta stop doing that to me. That was an unbelievable matchup. Another 15-round game. The 2 games tonight that we expected to have the most weight to them, Dev, have delivered.
Oh, that they did. It has been a roller coaster of emotions here on OCN tonight. And man, how many rounds did we see where it just flipped the switch time and time? Jack Daddy almost 1v5 with a Frostmat to help. And then Jigsaw just 180 out of nowhere. How many 3v5s did we see? How many rounds that should not have been won was stolen away? And at the end of the day, Bliss do back themselves into the corner, but say that this is their own. An insane game, an insane match. Just never could you call it. Never, not until it was over.
I want to see this 1v2 from Specker. This was absolutely outrageous. I mean, you know, they've put themselves in a great position, but that is just ridiculous. A time to stand up, and he does so perfectly. This is just at a point where we are really looking to Bliss and saying, what do you have when playoffs come? Because right now, look at that. Look at the impact, man. And Oda is usually all the way up there on the scoreboard. So you're talking about the fact that one of their huge players didn't even have to perform to his highest standard. That is just such an incredible view to look at.
It certainly is, and just such a nail-biter game. Really impressive stuff. Jigsaw once again hitting his stride, and he was instrumental in a lot of those rounds where Bliss were at a disadvantage. It was often him. Even Todd, had a big impact. I'm thinking about that final round in particular.
Yep.
They really just clawed themselves over the line. 17-15 and Repix. 17-15 and 14 for Jigsaw Shade and Repix respectively is really just a crazy stat line. Very high kill count game overall, and Bliss definitely taking the lion's share of those.
46 kills in the top 3 players for Bliss. That's an insane stat. I think it's starting to show the caliber of these players, the caliber that we have to offer. For Bliss, they're just on another level right now, and they're continuing to prove that.
Yeah, they absolutely are. It's been pretty crazy, and I have to admit, I was one of the doubters. I have been wondering constantly, when is the moment that Bliss will fall, and it has felt inevitable to me. They are going to fall, but now they've taken down Order, they've taken down Knights, they've taken down Wildcard. They've still got Chiefs up to play, and I think that's going to be their most challenging game yet. But there is no doubt that Bliss are the real deal.
Oh, they certainly are, and we're going to have a quick little chat after an exhilarating matchup. Mate, you need to tell me how you are feeling, because we're dead in our shoes.
we're feeling pretty good, but we lost a few rounds that we shouldn't have, that we just outright threw. But overall, the team morale's at an all-time high, I think. So, yeah.
Legit, dude, that was such a stressful experience watching you guys play that. What
it
an
was
insane game.
It was stressful in game.
Absolutely,
that is for sure.
So,
you know,
unfortunately, you do lose your first point. How are you feeling about that game as a whole? Because you still came back and won it.
We're a little let down. We let down a point, but overall, we still haven't lost yet. So, we're still fairly happy. We're still on track to getting that #1 spot for the Gauntlet playoffs. So, we're still pretty happy.
I would hope so, because right now you've taken down some of the biggest teams that ANZ Siege has to offer. Knights, our Order, of course, and I believe Wildcard. Yeah, Wildcard was your first play day. So now that you have Chiefs coming up, obviously LFO, I believe. No, sorry, Rafflecopter. I'm absolutely off on a tangent here. Rafflecopter is your next matchup. How are you feeling coming into that game? Because in all rights, we would say that Rafflecopter and Bliss last stage were pretty closely matched, but it feels like this stage you guys have hit new peaks. How do you feel coming up against them?
Last stage, we sort of let off the ball and sort of threw up in the Gauntlet, but this stage going in it, we're very, very confident. Like, Jig's an absolute amazing player. Our overall frag potential is insane. Like, we're going into that very, very confident.
Dev, you got final questions?
I mean, I'm just wondering, I guess, like, how do you think you'll go into playoffs? I don't want to get too premature in it, but like, it is looking at the moment like you are going to get seeded straight into that grand final. It's been a very long time since we have seen some of the veterans on your roster play at that level, at that #1, #2 kind of spot. How do you think you'll go?
I think we'll go well. Like, and overall, this roster has so much more potential than I think anything I've ever been on before. We're well and truly hitting like higher than our weight class, and honestly, I'm starting to think that's where we sort of sit.
I mean, from all your from all your results, there's no questions asked. You guys are sitting up there, and I think you deserve to be there. Look, we'll cut it short. Well, not cut it short. We're just going to cut it there. Do you have any final words before we let you go?
Just a big shout out for everyone supporting us. Keep it going. We really love the support, guys. It keeps us going.
Good. Well, congratulations on yet another victory. I can't believe we're still saying that after 5 play days, mate. Unreal that you're undefeated. Go and enjoy and celebrate with the team. We'll catch you next week.
Cheers. Catch up.
So, it's pretty insane, all things considered. The fact that we are still, at this point, play day 5, we're still talking about the fact that they're undefeated. They've dropped 1 point, and it's only because of the overtime system, which, by the way, I love. Love the overtime system. But they've only dropped 1 point.
Yep. And we'll touch on this again at the end of today. We still have another game to go, believe it or not. Knights and LFO. But the fact that Bliss currently sit on 14 points. Stage 1, the #1 team was Knights. They were on 14 points. And the #2 team was Chiefs. They were on 13. So, like, the highest that any team got in Stage 1 was 14 points. And Bliss are there with still 2 days to go. A potential maximum 20 points on the board they could get should they take down both Chiefs and Rafflecopter without overtime. Even if, worst case scenario, Bliss lose out the Chiefs, I think that Bliss are probably going to take that #1 spot nonetheless. They have such a good opportunity here to just lock it out.
I just want to say that I've already locked it in for Bliss. They are 100% going to be the top spot. They are absolutely outrageous and have convinced us so. There is nothing that you can tell me otherwise, Dev. But you know what? We're going to start to wind it down and go to a break. But don't go anywhere. On the other side, we've got Knights and LFO. We'll see you.
to GTV ANZ, the gaming channel created by Ubisoft. Every Tuesday and Friday on YouTube, we'll be doing fast plays, game challenges, 1v1 face-offs, and so much more. You happy?
When did we get a dog?
It's a good question.